We're back for more Rodeo Clan. Back so soon. Literally the day after. Go me. Yeah, I should be making another game right now, but this playthrough is basically my own retreat. Because I've been making games non-stop for like the last 12 months. So, let's get into it. We're in Aurora. We were going to have dinner with a woman named Susie whose relationship to us is unclear at the moment. Although it's pretty obviously romance related. And our car broke down. So we can't get to that dinner. So we have to call a tow truck on Ernest, in that door there, Ernest's landline. Sounds simple enough, but obviously I didn't actually do that last episode. I just walked around and showed you shit. So let's actually follow the critical path. Well, the only path really. Oh, actually, that's a lie. Trivia, or maybe fun detail, you don't actually have to go use Ernest's landline if you don't want to. You can go in here. You can talk to these kids and they'll point you to someone else's landline. You can also go into the gas station, which no one is going to do, but I don't know, I just put that detail in. I'm like, this opening sequence is too long. So I wanted to give people the option to, basically, if they were sick of following the critical path. I'll backtrack. Initially, when you drove into town, you didn't get let out of your car. You pretty much immediately got teleported into that dude's house. And therefore, you couldn't walk around the town like I did last episode. You had to go through his conversation, which is kind of a long conversation. And then you could come back out and do the free roam stuff. So I basically just said, whatever, I'm just going to let you free roam right off the bat, but I'll lock a bunch of stuff behind this conversation. And that's more fun, because it feels less railroady, even though I'm still like railroading you. It's psychology stuff. So let's go in and actually do it. There he is, Ernest. What's he got on the wall? Maps. Spooky Medusa heads. What is this a map of, by the way? I never actually bothered to check it. Hopefully something cool. I feel like, yeah, that's Italy, Greece, Saudi Arabia. Oh, I don't know what that is. Are they calling that Sri Lanka? Alright, whoever made this map, they tried. Maybe it's India, but I feel like they would have known India wasn't an island at that time, surely. Sorry, I'm like discovering stuff in my own game. This is a very old map, if that wasn't blatantly obvious. With whatever these Medusa heads are doing, like blowing air. Is that the UK? Yeah, I don't think this map was trying to be accurate. Neither was this one. Oh, I mean, this one was sort of accurate. But they thought like Baja California was an island back in the day. Or at least they weren't sure. So they've just stuff it. Make the water go all the way up. But I think, like, and this is probably bullshit, but I'm going to say it anyway. I'm pretty sure a lot of maps back in the day were more like ornaments and like sort of more of an art piece than an accurate piece. Because I mean, look at this. You put like dogs standing on two legs doing, I don't know what they're doing there. Even though it's very low resolution. Because I know I can't afford more resolution, guys, sorry. You know, just like, what is this, like Lord of the Rings? Maps were meant to look cool. Who cares about accuracy? Florida is just a nub. Moving on. Let's actually, we can talk to him. We could CRT. Let's do that. Ernest's living room is bare and depressing. At your feet lies a stained rug, aligned haphazardly with the couch on the back wall. Opposite the couch is a CRT television. Next to that a VHS player with a stack of tapes. They're all housed within the same beige casing. It's like a time capsule of your childhood. Yeah. Watch the tapes. LCD sound system. This one is like, obviously I had to pick a song called Watch the Tapes for a conversation about VHS tapes. But like the lyrics in that song are kind of vaguely, completely unrelated to what the conversation ends up being about. Spoilers. No, now is not the time for this. You're here so you can call... Oh, continuity error. That should say tow truck. I mean, it still makes sense as Susie because you would call and tell that your car broke down, but it's wrong. No one will notice. Sorry, do better. Ernest, what's going on in your mug compartment? Aurora Rodeo. We'll talk about that later. This game is called Rodeo Clan, by the way, so obviously there's going to be rodeo mentions. And if you don't know what a rodeo clan is, by the way, I talked to people who didn't know what rodeo clan was, like a rodeo clan, not the game, didn't know what the concept of a rodeo clan was. And that was fun, to describe a rodeo clan to people who'd never heard of one. And if you haven't heard of one, well, you understand the concept of a rodeo in between the parts where the cowboys are wrangling and like, what are you going to do, bull riding? Which, by the way, that's a very shit sport. Don't support bull riding. But anyway, between the bull riding, they send out clowns like dressed up in like, they call, I guess, rodeo clans. They basically send them out to entertain the crowd in between the bull riders. And by entertain, I mean like get injured, get chased by bulls, get injured but like worse. Yeah, it's not a fun job. They also, at least in the smaller rodeos, like they're like the people who wrangle the cows or the bulls after the bull rider falls off. But suffice to say, rodeo clan, it's not a glamorous profession. And I'm not going to explain why the game is called Rodeo Clan, but I don't know, you could infer stuff. Alright, let's do the conversation. Approach the phone. Ernest leaned against the fridge beside the bench, watching inquisitively. Dust particles meander through the sunbeams. Yes, I do. Check out my particles. These are the only particles I can do. Shit that floats, and that's it. Looking down, you realise this is no ordinary landline. It's a rotary phone. Oh boy. When you're ready. Yeah, can we get some light in here? It's really dark. Are your lights broken? I like it dark. I'm keeping it dark. Make your phone call and get out of here if you don't like it. I added that line in because initially his house had actual lights in it, but it kind of looked it looked sort of ugly because like very high key, is high key the word? Very bright lighting in like the lighting setup I've got in this game. It doesn't look great. Whereas the shadows in this game look a lot nicer. So I'm like, well, I'll just use a lot of natural lighting and sort of make the shadows more pronounced. And this room looks way better. I'll throw a screenshot of the old room, by the way, right now. And as you can see, it looks way less stylized. And so I prefer it in its current state of very like dusty, kind of warm but dark. Alright, rodeo phone. You want me to use a rotary phone? Really? You know how to use it? Yes, of course I know how to use a rotary phone. Prove it. Yeah. Prove it. You place your finger in the number 9 hole and pull the rotary all the way around. Then release. Produces a satisfying click as it rotates back into position. Anyone could do that. Keep going. Yeah, I don't know what the hell he's expecting me to do here. Just give me the number for the tow company. Please, I know how to use the phone. You're not going to get any satisfaction out of this. Alright, I'm just staring. It just pauses for a second. Know what? I've forgotten it. Oh my god. It'll come to me. Give me a second. Check your phone. Go find someone else with a phone. Wait for Ernest to remember. Let's go find someone else. I'm sick of this dude. Forget it. I'm sure someone else in this town knows the number. No, don't go just yet. It'll come to me. I'm trying my damnedest to remember. There was an advert on the television. They sang the number out. No, I'm leaving. Well, when you remember, come find me. I'm going now. You leave Ernest where he stands and walk back toward the front door. Oh god, I can't yell. I got it. Instinctively raise your hands to your ears. He has an extremely loud voice. Never should have doubted me. He holds the phone toward you. You take the phone from Ernest's hand and raise it to your ear. Ringing. Alicia, Longhorn Towing, yeah? Who is this? Who might I be speaking to? Alicia from Longhorn Towing? Yes. Blatant author self-insert, by the way, that's me. That's me with a pillowcase over my head that I've made to look like hair. Yeah, I used very rudimentary means to get a lot of these character portraits. I guess this one is technically me, but it's not obvious because there's no eyes and face. It's just like a exploding head. But this one is blatantly me, if you've seen what I look like. So yes, I am Alicia from Longhorn Towing. My car broke down and I need it towed. Obviously, where are you? That big mural on the side of the building you parked in front of said Aurora. That's probably what this place is called. I'm proud of that because this line does not show up unless you actually go and look at the mural. So if you ignore that mural, you would go through a whole rigmarole with Ernest about him being mad at you for not remembering the name of the town, even though you don't know it in the first place. So, if you want to do some speed running, go look at the mural before you do this conversation so you don't have to do the argument with Ernest about not knowing the town name. Choices matter, guys. Aurora? I think the town is called Aurora. He looked at Ernest for approval. He nodded his head. Alright, give me a minute. You hear the sound of a mechanical keyboard being assaulted on the other end of the line. So what did she say? Nothing. You hold your hand up to Ernest, the universal sign to stop talking. The keyboard sound stopped, then Alicia returns. You still there? Nope. I'm gone. This is an apparition. Right. Well, she clears her throat. I'll send a truck your way. Bad news, I'm not sure how long it'll be. Rough estimate, an hour, but it could be less. No promises. 1 hour, that's not the end of the world. Driver's name is Maxwell. He's got a bright yellow truck, can't miss it. Just flag him down in the street when you see him. Can you get a lift? Since my car is dead, will the tow truck driver be able to drop me off in Seymour? I kinda sorta really need to be there by 6:30 tonight. We'll have to ask Max when he arrives, but I'm sure he won't object. He's lovely. Great. I'll do that. Thanks for the help, Alicia. My pleasure. Ciao. She hangs up the phone and you're left with the dial tone. Success? Yeah. Tow truck will be an hour. Plenty of time to spare. My plans are not entirely dead in the water. Well, good for you. Yeah, good for you, Des. So what are you going to do for the next hour? Yeah, see? Call Susie. I guess I need to make another No, don't call her. She can't know. What? Why? What's the big deal? We're coming all this way to show her that you've changed. But a story about your car breaking down is exactly the type of shit the old Des would have pulled. How many birthdays, dinners, funerals have you missed, all because you whipped up some half-assed excuse to get out of it? I'm not like that anymore. Susie doesn't know that. You heard what she was like on the phone. She almost didn't believe you were still coming. If you call and tell her your car broke down, what do you reckon she'll think? She's been burnt far too many times to believe you. But, oh my god, fuck me, I am so shit. Yeah, we're really nailing down on like or hammering in the, whatchamacallit. I don't even know what to call it, shit. The whole idea of the game and like the driving force of Desmond and his relationship to Susie and how he's changed, but has he changed, and all that, which I won't go into detail, but you know, that's where it's leading. Yes, I'm so shit. Don't think about it. You'll make it to see one with plenty of time to spare. Who cares if your car broke down? You can tell her the story in person. You can even make a joke about it. Wouldn't that be nice? Yeah, it would be nice. But don't get ahead of yourself. You aren't there yet. Hey, I asked you a question. What are you gonna do while you wait for the tow truck? What's Aurora got to offer? What should I be doing? We got the tractor museum, we got vintage architecture, we got character. What else do you need? Tractor museum, fuck yes, or divine character. Yeah, what do you mean by character, buddy? Character can mean a lot of things. Be more specific. Grit, charm, a picture of the real America. Yeah, Dan. What's real America? What's real America then? Well, farmland and wide open streets, a flagpole in the front yard, those sorts of things. If you see a flag, you need to stop whatever you're doing and salute it. The nation will fall into disarray if you don't. Okay, we'll do that later. Time to go. Alright, I think I've spent enough time taking up space in your kitchen. I'm going now. Need a tour guide? Ooh, no. I'm happy alone. You want a coffee or tea if we hit the road? Old town? Let's have a coffee. Coffee would be nice. I'd ask how you like it. I'm not going to. Okay. Ernest motions for you to sit down at the dining table, then walks to the kitchen. Grab a seat at the table. Plane crash. We'll get to that. It takes Ernest a few minutes to make a beverage. You don't have much confidence in his brewing prowess. He places the cup before you, then sits on the opposite side of the table. Drink up. You look down into the mug. Definitely looks like coffee. Now to find out if it tastes like coffee. You lift the mug to your lips and pour it down the hatch. It tastes above average. Yes. Thanks, brother. Damn good coffee. And hot. Yes, that's it. As I discussed in the last episode, Desmond is a Twin Peaks fan. Damn right it is. I know how to make them. Ernest goes quiet and eyes you from the opposite side of the table. He won't be the one to start this conversation. Alright, ooh. And this is our first, like, actual, I would say, it's not a dialogue tree, I don't know what to call it. Like a question tree where you can sort of answer something and then come back to it later. I like that animation. Very jumpy. So, I don't want to ask all of these because it's, you know, very long-winded. What is this mug about? I want to learn about the mug, the Aurora Rodeo mug. Aurora Rodeo 1997. It's been quite the bash if they had mugs made for it. You ever been to a rodeo? I feel like Desmond had some. No. Nah, not my crowd. You're from the city, ain't you? Rodeos are a big deal in small towns like this. Oh, they were a big deal. We haven't had one since 97. Oh. Any particular reason that was the last one? Here we go. One of the rodeo clan, I think his name was Jack, and his chest caved in when he got crushed against the grate. Went to God there and then. Another one of the clowns ran in to help and got himself gored beyond repair. He died in the ambulance. Guess people lost their appetite for watching death-defying cow wrangling after that. Yeah, no wonder. Not to see why, it sounds traumatizing. Ain't that the truth? I reckon you could summarize the history of Aurora into two categories. Pre-Rodeo Clan Massacre and post-Rodeo Clan Massacre. Takes a sip from his Aurora Rodeo mug. Maybe I'm oversimplifying. Truth is, nothing good has happened to this town since. Oh, Okay, why are you getting the mugs? That's a bit morbid. I'm having a hard time drinking out of this mug now. Why in the world do you want to keep them? It's a bit morbid. I never was thinking about it. Wouldn't be right to throw them away though. It's nice to have something to remind you of the past. I wonder if there are any mugs made for the Hindenburg. Oh, definitely album covers. That's our first mention of rodeo clowns in this game, and fun fact, it's the only mention of rodeo clowns in this game. Aside from the title. Do with that information what you will. What does he do to pass the time? There can't be a whole lot to do in this town. You have any hobbies? Smoking a hobby? What about drinking? No, not in my book. Bugger. We'll have a VHS player. Yeah, we saw that. And I spent a lot of time watching old tapes on it. Wasn't much of a hobby in the past, but I've taken a liking to it recently. Yeah, what's you got? What's in this collection? Would I know any of the movies you have? It isn't a collection of films or anything specific, just random tapes that I find. Swap meets in place like that. Yeah, that's awesome, dude. Shit, that's pretty unique. Any tapes I might like watching? It's mostly corporate training videos or old newsreels. I don't much feel like talking about it, honestly. He's being nice, but you can see in his expression that he hates talking about his hobbies. I get it. It's a boring hobby, you aren't missing much. You turn and look at the pile of tapes sitting beside his television. You should go and look at them after you're done talking. Yeah, I'm going to do that right now, actually. You know what? I think we'll get out of here. Yeah, let me know when the tow truck gets here, alright? See if I can't lend a hand. No problem. Will do. Off you go then. And now let's look at his tapes, because we couldn't do that earlier. We've already read that. Yeah, we've already read that. Ernest watches you suspiciously from his seat at the dining table. Don't be going through my stuff. Can I play one of the tapes, please? Alright, just one. But there's nothing all that interesting on them. You're gonna be disappointed. You give him a sarcastic thumbs up and begin sorting through the stack of VHS tapes. 60s advertisements. Boring. JFK Nixon debate 1960s. 1960. Yeah, that has potential. Plane crash. Yeah, we saw that one. That's the one, baby. In you go. Start the VHS out of its case and push it into the player. Turn the TV on. You press the big round button on the front of the TV and take a seat in Ernest's sorry excuse of a couch. I think this one is short. I'm going to turn the volume down because I think this will be loud. Wait patiently for the picture to appear on the screen. Give it a second. Here it is.
Howard Hughes, famous flyer and sportsman, was dragged out of this wreckage of an experimental plane he was testing. He was seriously injured. After ripping the corner from two homes in Beverly Hills, California, the plane finally plunged into this house. The force of the impact virtually wrecked the building and caused the plane to catch fire. The flyer said that the accident was due to motor failure shortly after his takeoff. He failed to make a crash landing on a golf course. Dennis O'Keefe, film actor, inspects damage done the home of Lieutenant Colonel Myers, chief interpreter at the Nuremberg war trials. America's aviation trailblazers willingly pay the price in man's conquest of the air.
Wow. Finally the video ends. TV screen goes dark and you're left slightly intrigued but ultimately disappointed. You were hoping for something more visceral. Howard Hughes sure was something. You look over to Ernest and catch him smiling to himself. He found that tape far more entertaining than you did. He wipes a grin off his face as soon as he notices you watching. Alright, you've had your look at my tapes, you're done now. Okay. By me, I've learnt that Howard Hughes crashed his plane into someone's house. I can tell people that fun piece of trivia whenever I like now. Yeah, great. For some reason, Ernest does not approve of this. Out of my lounge now, please. My lord, you move away from his collection of tapes. Ernest lets out a sigh of relief. How about that? And now when we talk to him, we can ask about it. Back to chat. Cool tape collection. I need to know more about your tape collection, please. This is why I don't like people going through my stuff. You're getting cocky, want to know too much about me. Yeah, make conversation. This is how people interact. They want to learn more about one another. Fine, you already know it by now, but I collect tapes of no particular description. That's it. Is there a story behind the Howard Hughes one I watched? Seems like an odd thing to keep on VHS. The original owner is dead. Why don't you ask them why they taped it? Yeah, where are they buried? Tell me where they are and I'll do that. They'd probably be more fun to talk to anyway. Ernest reveals the subtlest of smirks, but only for a brief moment. It was so brief you aren't even sure if it was real or a hallucination. Right, enough about the damn tapes. I didn't invite you into my house so I could explain my hobbies, alright? Alright. And we're not going to add RCs because they're all very... Well, I don't know what they are, but... We won't get bogged down in earnest because there's a whole town to explore right now. Yeah, no problem, I've done that. Let's get out of here. Okay. Interesting. Route to that bird, I guess. What can we do? We can... So, yeah, now that we're free from the shackles of that payphone, or what is it called? The rotary phone. We can do a lot. Like, the game is basically open from this point on. And there's no, like, objective besides pass the time, so I guess that means do whatever. And all these highlighted stuff are things you can interact with. So yeah, it's... Jesus Christ, I forgot how much shit I put in this game. I don't know what to do first. Some of it is more, like, just very short stuff, so like, the flagpole. Let's do the flagpole, because I said I would salute the flag. Or the flammable objects. Yes, flags are flammable objects, if you didn't know. Look at the flag. Stars and stripes of corruption. Alright, this is probably my most opinionated conversation in the game. Or heavily satirical, I don't know how to describe it, but... If you've listened to this song and you're comparing it about with what I'm doing right now, you can kind of figure out what the hell I'm going for. This is by Dead Kennedys, by the way, and you should all go listen to it. Now let's go through. Look at the flag, I'm looking at it. Now salute. Why? For the good of the nation. How does that in any way relate to this? Remember the words of John F. Kennedy. Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country. Jesus. Yeah, that doesn't answer my question. The flag is sacred. Salute the flag. Salute. I'm not really one for saluting inanimate objects. Sorry. I'll piss on the flag before I salute it. Of the three choices, this one is the most Desmond of the three, so I'm picking that. I'm pissing on the flag. You know, it's actually the reason they fly flags on really tall poles, so people can't piss on them. Smart. Yeah, now salute the flag. I'm not saluting the fucking flag. Stop telling me to do that. Yeah, we're not saluting it. You're a traitor. Expect a call from the CIA, or the FBI, or the TSA, whichever department is responsible for dealing with spineless worms like you. Okay. You'll eat your words. The flag always wins. Always. Yeah. Alright. What to do? We can go into the church if we like. Fun fact, I'm just going to spoil this now because this is probably my favourite just like thing in the... That's a bit hyperbolic. Something I really like about the game is, if you remember last episode, we were listening to that conversation on the radio about like the benefits of urinating in the shower or whatever, and at the end you have the choice to pick which team you're on, so you could either be team shower pisses, team toilet pisses, or team sink pisses. And believe it or not, that's one of like the most impactful choices in the game. So if you pick team shower pisses or team sink pisses, you can go in the church. And so I'll go in now. And I'm in the church. I'm not going to do this yet, but just showing you that, yeah, there's an interior. But if I were to pick team toilet pisses, I would arrive at this door and it would be locked and I wouldn't be able to go in for the entire game. And you might be wondering, what the hell? How is that like a how is that a consequence of my actions? Well, their answer is it's funny. So that's the consequence. So yes, if you wanted to go in the church, you just have to be on either team sink pisses or team shower pisses. That's just how this thing works. I'm sorry. I don't know why I have such an obsession with the location in which we urinate, but Rodeo Clan is a deep meditation on that. Let's talk to the, what do I call them? The youth crime wave. Just so we're clear, that is again, satirical. In Australia, I'm going to go back to some local politics. I guess national, local, whatever. Because, believe it or not, Australian media is also run by Murdoch. Would you believe it? Oh my god. And their favourite term is the youth crime wave. That is it's a big thing, and it's just popped up out of nowhere. Especially in Queensland for some reason. Even though, literally there is no youth crime wave or anything. It's just like a buzzword they love throwing around to get people freaked out and voting for the Liberals. But you know, boomers, they love freaking out about the youth. Sorry. Keep politics out of my games. You approach two teenagers loitering in front of a brick wall. The Texas flag looms over them, the paint fading away. A radio sits on the seat of an old bike, but there isn't any music playing, just silence. Oh, fun fact, the Liberal leader in Australia, Liberal, by the way, in Australia means conservative. It's not like America. He used to be a cop. So that should tell you all you need to know about the Liberal Party in Australia. They're led by a cop. A radio sits on the seat of an old bike, but there isn't any music playing, just silence. One sitting down speaks first. Who the fuck are you? Alright, Joss. Just pretend you didn't hear that. You're a cool adult who isn't affected by cheap intimidation. Hello. What's up? Teenagers glare at you. You here to try and sell us something? Says Jesse. Jesse. Maybe you are. This might be a good chance to make some money. Sell them your shoes, sell them your phone. I'm gonna here to sell shit. Yeah, no. I got nothing to sell. I'm just trying to be cordial. Cordial. Cordial? Cordial. She looks down at the boy sitting beside her, expecting a reaction. He just rolls his eyes. Whatever. Hey, what do you think of my bike? You look at the bicycle next to her. It's covered in rust and there aren't any pedals. Looking at her bike. What do I think of it? Let's try and be cool about it. It's cool, old school. I like it. All that's missing are some pedals. You want to know why it has no pedals? It's a metaphor. For? Enlighten me. For life, my life, his life. She widens her eyes and looks directly into your soul. Maybe even your life too. You put your brain to work deciphering what that can mean. No answers are found. My name is Jesse. This is my brother Joss. The bike is my canvas, or the paint, whichever makes more sense to you. I'm Des. I don't have a canvas. Right, that's all I need to know. Don't tell me anymore. Yeah. Why aren't they at school? I'm assuming you're supposed to be at school right now. Jesse and Desire burst into laughter simultaneously. It's summer break. You live under a rock? Right, you really should have known that. It's okay, you're old. You forget sometimes. Fuck off. What did you just say? Alright, you can't hear so good either. He spits onto the concrete slab beside him. Shut up, Desire. Stop being a dick. Yeah, what she said. Listen to your sister, young man. Desire grunts and begins pulling at a piece of grass beside his leg. Anyways, no, we do not have school. Another month of sitting around doing nothing. Can you tell we're bored? Yes, we can tell. Song title, Doritos and Fritos, 100 gex. I guess, I don't know, I feel like that song accurately represents the youth of America in some weird way. It's very on the cutting edge. Very, fuck, I'm not going to try and analyze a fucking 100 gex song, but if you listen to it, you'll understand. Do they live in town? You live around here? In the gas station. Our parents own it. Did own it. You get what I mean. We're moving out right now. Turn to your left and see the gas station on the other side of the main street. It looks as old as all the other buildings in this town. She's talking about this building right here. I'm waving my cursor around madly. Mum and Dad sat in that place all day waiting for customers to roll in. I could have told them 10 years ago that it was a waste of time. You're gonna make a living, children. You have to pay your bills one way or another. Well, that's the thing, it didn't. She takes a deep breath and then continues. You know, my parents have lived here their whole lives. Can't wrap my head around it. See how vast the world is, and you decide the first place you see is the place you'll live forever. What, yeah, aren't they moving out? I don't really understand what you mean. You're moving out, right? That's not forever. 50 years is close enough. 50 years that could have been spent anywhere but here, doing anything but sitting around waiting for something good to happen. She's starting to get worked up. The world is too beautiful to be stuck in one place forever. The second I get the chance, I'm catching a plane and never looking back. I love my parents, but I don't want to be them. She spent a lot of time thinking about her place in the world. And then Joss interrupts. Can you calm down? Why are you dumping your life's mission on this nerd? I gotta tell someone. Mum and Dad don't get it. And you're... yeah. She turns her attention back to you. Please tell me you empathize with my situation. I need validation. Do we empathize? I mean, obviously I get where she's coming from because I literally wrote this, but does Des get where she's coming from? Yeah, let's be sympathetic. I know what you're saying. You've got dreams and aspirations. You've got a vision for what your life should amount to. You know there's only one shot at this thing. You need to make it worthwhile. You need to get out of this rut while the door is open, so on and so forth, etc., etc. Well, you didn't really put it very eloquently, but yeah. Yes, Joss, are you listening? That's what'll happen to you if you don't wake the fuck up. Yep. You're such a loser. You're a bitch. The siblings bicker. You stand there awkwardly. You feel compelled to make them stop, but it's oddly entertaining. What are you even doing here, Joss? Alright, you have no friends. That's why you hang around me all day. That's brutal. Never say that to someone, by the way. Never say, like, if they're hanging around you, that they have no friends. That's really rude. Especially if they're your sibling. That feels like doubly mean. I'm gonna keep quiet though, because this is funny. You observe the soap opera before you with a devilish grin. What the hell are you talking about? Neither of us have anyone to hang out with. There's like 10 people in this place, and they're all fucking old. That's a good rebuttal though. See, that's another thing I've been getting at. There's nothing here for either of us. Josiah goes silent. Jessie directs her attention back to you. Right, where were we? Yeah, I want to learn about the bike now. I'm something of a modern art fan. Tell me more about your bike. Look at that, Josiah. Told you people would be interested. She crouches down and punches him in the shoulder, then turns back to you. This bike has had a tough life. I discovered it lying in a ditch a few miles up the road last week. There was a steer poking at it with their tongue, all wet and gross. Did I mention it was also covered in mud? You'll conjure the image in your mind. A cow licking a muddy bike. That'd make a good album cover. I was just out walking with the wind when I saw it. I spooked the steer off, then dragged the bike all the way with me back home. I told myself this would be my summer project. Take my mind off the fact that I'm trapped in this god-awful place. She pauses for effect. I raised this bike from the dead, but there was one glaring issue. There aren't any pedals. There aren't any pedals. Is that the metaphor? There are no pedals? Okay, no pedals, metaphor. If I tell you what it means, it loses meaning. profoundness comes from our own interpretations, not mine, yours. How do you interpret the missing pedals? It's a metaphor for our future as society. Might have the vehicle to move forward, but the truth is we're not going anywhere. It's about our dreams. We're told we can be anyone and do anything, but it's all an illusion. With no pedals, open brackets, money, close brackets, we are trapped in a life we had no intention of living. It's, I don't know, I don't care either. Can I get a hint? Yeah, give me a hint. It's allegorical. Carmine. Little Carmine says that. Very allegorical. Fuck, I can't even speak today. Very allegorical. A better hint? It's about life. Okay. I'm just trying to find meaning. Go to capitalism. It's about capita. Shut up. Don't say it out loud. It's your meaning, not mine. Okie dokie. My lips are sealed. But know this. My meaning was so profound, you can't even imagine. Yeah, whatever you say, man. This is so stupid. You're making me cringe. Something can only be cringe if the majority of the people in the area agree. Right now, it's 2 for not cringe and 1 for cringe. Therefore, not cringe. Democratic cringe. But really though, this bike talk is getting a little pretentious. Switch it up, dude. Yeah, what? I'm going all in on this conversation because I like these characters. You seem like you think hard about things. Did someone tell you to do that, or is it just something you've developed? Yes, I think hard about things. Harder than you thought about that question. Yeah, that was kind of mean. I like to think of it as a hobby. Some people play sports or make wooden spoons. I think about stuff. Then I present my thoughts to whoever will listen. You're my listener today. Be grateful. Yeah, Jesus Christ. Holy pretentious. You think I give a shit? If I cared about my exterior image, I wouldn't be spouting this stuff every chance I get. Yeah, I don't buy that. She's crafting her persona. You say these things because you want to build an image. You want people to view you as the person who has shit worked out on a higher, more intellectual level. I don't buy it. Jessie glares at you. There's a snarky response forming somewhere in her mind. It's taking its time. You may have actually stumped her. You're good at this. I see some of myself in you. The other way around, lady. Actually, I was doing this philosophical drivel bullshit before you were born. Matter of fact, I'm still on that shit. Your metaphorical bike is pedestrian compared to what I'm cooking. Yeah, right, dude. Hey, Joss, tell me your opinion on this discussion. A third viewpoint would be nice. Josiah looks up from his knees with an annoyed look in his eye. I do not care. Delightful. You know what? Change of topic. Ask me something else. Well, I've got nothing else to ask, so let's leave. Okay, I think I'm going to do something else now. I appreciate the bike art metaphor thing. Go see my dad at the gas station. It's sad when no one talks to him. Yeah, we'll do it eventually. Sure thing. Does he sell alcohol? If you want booze, I'll just steal it for you. I'm joking. Please don't do that. I was kidding. Of course, of course. Right. I'll see you around. We ain't moving. Turn your back to the flag and step onto the road. Oh, basketball. Here we go. This is what I've been waiting for. That's why I did this conversation so early, so I could play basketball. It's surprisingly hard because like there's no like visual cue for when you've like got the power to the right amount. You just have to kind of guess, which is like, you know, I'm not making a basketball mini game, so it's fine. I'm not very good at it, even though I've tried a billion times. Fun fact, the only reason this game has a crosshair, like I added a little setting for it, was because it was really hard to play basketball without a crosshair, so I added a crosshair just for the basketball. But it's useful for everyone else as well, because, you know, some people get motion sick without a crosshair. Oh my god. I'm not leaving until I get this, by the way. I'll get you. That was one of the secrets. Wait, What was the other secret we found? Oh right, the tire swing was the secret. So we did the VB long neck where we like drew chalk on the ground. We did tire swing, and then we did that, and that's 3 out of 9. Hoop strains. Yeah, it measures it. We need to get 2 hoops drained before we leave. Yeah, boy. Oh. No, I'm not going to do this suspicious rock. We've got plenty of time to do something else. What's over here? Can you hear that? Sounds like water. Not yet, I'm going over here. Secret. Well, it's not actually a secret, but frisbee. I don't know why I added this to the game. I think it was just because I had the code for the basketball. I'm like, ah, fuck it, I'll just put something else in. So I put a frisbee in the game, which it's the same as the basketball. You just throw it around, but it's hidden, and you don't have to do the conversation with what's her name, Jessie, to get the basketball. Let's throw it on the roof because that's where it belongs. Oh shit. Real slice of life type of game, you know, just throwing frisbees onto people's roofs, walking around the back streets. If you're wondering why there's so many empty lots here, by the way, one, I've made this game alone, so I literally can't fill this town out completely without taking like 5 more months to do it. And two, there's a very good story reason that all these lots are empty, which we will get to later because, you know, not to spoil it, but it makes sense. Oh, fish. That's another secret. Okay, let's do an actual conversation now. We could talk to this dude. I don't want to talk to him yet. Could go in the church. There's a lady over there. Oh, I know. We did the flag over there, but there's actually another flag over here we can kind of sort of continue that line of conversation with. And then we'll do the war memorial afterwards. Flammable object, part 2. And then, oh look, another flag. This is the perfect opportunity to right past wrong, salute the flag. And this is a hard choice because I know what happens if you do either one, and they're both funny. Let's do It's Not Happening. A missile silo in Nebraska just opened and an ICBM is headed towards your current location. Well, cool. If that's the price I gotta pay, so be it. See you in hell, traitor. You look to the sky. If there are any ICBMs headed your way, they're going to be obscured by the clouds. Shame. Time to spend the last moments of your sorry existence doing something other than staring at a flagpole. Get a move on. Yeah, leave. You step back from the flagpole and turn to face the world, feeling slightly more confused about life than you were earlier. Alright, let's do the war memorial. Low income at Cannon for... God, whoever wrote this game has a lot of opinions, eh? A beautiful gold plaque. It's almost as gold as the hearts of the men and women who serve. Drop the sarcasm, I ought to show at least a little respect. What's the title of this conversation? The Words That Maketh Murder. PJ Harvey from her album Let England Shake, which is basically entirely about like World War One and England, or England's involvement in World War One. Great album. Very depressing, but also like weirdly danceable. Not that I've danced to it, but you know, it's that. It has a very it's got a catchy nature about it, even though the lyrics of the song are talking about how all these dudes died in the trenches. But anyway, drop the sarcasm. Yeah, let's show it a little respect. It's not their fault. The military-industrial complex of the thing. You're right. God bless. The edges of the plaque are worn and scratched. Seems like it hasn't been updated in a while. All those etchings look at least a few decades old. Dedicated to the veterans of Aurora. There aren't many names below that. Still, it's more than you were expecting for a town this small. And to all who gave their life to preserve freedom in the United States of America. They gave their life for you, for your freedom. I'm forever grateful, or it depends on what war they died in. Yeah. Does it depend on what the war they died in? I feel like... Yeah, for your freedom. Assuming none of these people died in, like, Iraq. If they didn't die for your freedom, what did they die for then? Oil, money, dirt, all of the above. In other words, nothing. Okay. Now a question for Des. Why do you have so many opinions? There it is. That's what I was leading up to, by the way. Without my opinions, I am nothing. I spent too much time alone. I can't stop thinking. One opinion informs another, then another, then another. It's just a natural consequence of being socially conscious. That's the pretentious answer. That's the realistic answer, and that's the pathetic answer. Let's do the third one, pretentious. That's true up until a point. That point is when you start losing touch with what's considered progressive. Then you'll start getting your opinions all muddled up. Eventually, you'll be left in the dirt with all the other old people who couldn't get with it. Pray that doesn't happen to you, by the way. If you call yourself a progressive, you got to keep up to date. Jesus Christ. And yeah, it's not easy. You got to like be on the internet all the time. But you should be keeping up to date with what is considered progressive, because believe it or not, society wasn't perfected in the last 2 years. So if we're not continually progressing, we're just stagnating. Alright. Yes. Don't get left in the dirt with all the other old people who couldn't get with it. That's the moral of the story. I'll be different. I'll keep up. You're goddamn right you'll be different. You can keep up because you have nothing better to do. You'll be on the cutting edge till the day you kill over and die. Although, you haven't gone vegan yet, so you might have dropped the ball already. And veganism is in the pipeline. Patience. Fuck me, keeping up is too hard. I'm not a vegan, but I look at a vegan and I see a person who is better than me, basically, because they kept up. It's in the pipeline. Yeah, right. We're going to reminisce on this moment 2 years from now, when you're eating a chocolate bar, and you're going to be very, very embarrassed. Hang on, I skipped too far. 2 years from now, where will you even be? In the gutter. Finally. You look back down to the plaque. Funny how far your mind wanders. A fly enters your field of view and lands on the M in Big What. You swat it away. No living being besmirches the Big What name. You didn't know them, but you have no doubt they were a fine character. Okay, time's up. Move along, good sir. Move along. You step back from the war memorial. That was mildly interesting to say the least. Yeah, these are the types of conversations you're getting in Radio Clown. Just bullshit. Absolutely inconsequential nothing. Which is just so happens to be my favourite type of conversation, because that's where all the good stuff happens, you know? In the places where nothing is happening. Let's go into this building. Because yeah, I alluded to it, there's interiors. Ooh, look at these photos. I love these photos. Tornado, volcano, dust storm. And if you're wondering where I got all these images from, the Library of Congress. I feel like I'm like plundering the American archives, even though I'm Australian. Like, that feels weird, but public domain, buddy. Old pictures. Or not even old pictures. Library of Congress has heaps of new pictures that are public domain as well. And that's perfect. I said it in the last episode, but we love public domain. Alright, what am I doing in here? Note. You walk up to the desk in the back of the room and find a note. Be back in a little while, I'm mowing my lawn. Must be the owner, or whoever works here. Guess you'll just have to come back later. Okay. Look at the vibes in this room though. You've got the fans. You got the... Where are the dust particles? Did I forget to put them in? Oh, they're there. Jesus Christ. I almost had a heart attack. There's dust particles. I feel like YouTube compression will probably kill these particles, but trust me, they're there. Alright, let's do one more conversation in this game. Which one though? That is the question. There's so many. Let's... Oh, I know a good one. I'm walking right towards it now. One week. What does this sign mean? On the outskirts of town, beside the Aurora Fire Department, a solitary digital roadwork sign sits. 1 week. 1 week? 1 week to what? You stand and wait for the LED screen to change and reveal what happens in 1 week. The screen doesn't change, you wait a little longer. Still the screen remains static. At this point you realise it isn't going to change. 1 week is all there is to read. What in the world? There has to be a reason for this sign. There has to be a reason this sign was put here. Maybe it's for locals. 1 week till taxes are due. Holy shit, I haven't done my taxes, or... I don't know when tax time is in America. I'm assuming it's the same time all around the world because of like financial year and whatever, but let's just say they aren't due. And it must be 1 week till something else. Cataclysm, rapture, death and destruction, the flow of time reverses. Flame envelops the planet, nuclear holocaust. Yellowstone explodes, blanketing the world in ash. That's actually plausible. Before I continue, conversation title, We Drift Like Worried Fire, which is a Godspeed You Black Emperor song from their album Alleluia, Don't Bend, Ascend, which is an amazing name for an album. And this is an amazing name for a song, and it's an amazing song as well. That whole album is amazing, Jesus Christ. I'm a bit of a Godspeed fanboy, especially now, after their latest album came out and was also amazing, by the way. I'm not going to talk more about it, but very topical. But yes, if you haven't listened to Godspeed, their songs have no lyrics. Well, they have lyrics, but they're like kind of like found sounds, field recording stuff. And they're also kind of like, what's the word? Doomsayers. They're very apocalyptic. And so this song, and a lot of their songs fit the bill of this conversation about 1 week until whatever it is, 1 week till nuclear war. It's been 1 week till nuclear war for 80 years. Oh, this is a perfect opportunity to talk about my next game, by the way. Which, when I wrote this conversation, I didn't know what my next game would be. I just a glint in my eye, but now that I'm like halfway through my next game, I can tell you, like by now this Steam page should have been up, but went through a bit of hoo-ha with that I can't be bothered explaining, but my next game is set in a post-nuclear Holocaust environment. And it's sort of similar to Rodeo Clan. Way less, or way smaller in scope, just because I want to make a game in a reasonable amount of time. So shorter, more focused on the writing, which might put some people off, but I don't care. And I think the idea for that game, because like I said, it's set in like a post-nuclear world. The idea for that game came while I was writing this conversation, and even if I didn't realize it at the time, it's sort of like heavily influenced it at least. So isn't that funny? Constantly coming up with new ideas for shit, even if I'm not actively trying to. So there's a good way to, if you're stuck for ideas, well, No, this is not good advice. I was going to say if you're stuck for ideas, go make something, but that's such a... The whole thing if you're stuck for ideas is that you can't make something. I don't know what to do if you're stuck for ideas. Fucking, I don't know, watch a movie. Movies are where most of my ideas come from. Go watch a really old movie, like one that's like really antiquated and like out of date, because, you know, they don't follow modern design trends or like modern trends or whatever you want to call it, and therefore they're really weird. Sometimes really bad, but also something doesn't have to be good for you to get ideas from it. Watch more movies. The sign says 1 week. Why would the sign lie? Great point. Guess we only have 1 week then. How would you spend that last week? Getting fucked up, looting, sleeping with Susie, ideally. Boring, but yeah. You're unbelievably dull. Yeah, she's your soulmate, or whatever. But it's the end of the world. Do something fun, like driving through a shopping mall or climbing a wind turbine. Scratch that. You'd probably be shot the second you walked out your front door. Pandemonium, so on and so forth. Apocalypse sounds scary. And that's why nobody has dropped a nuke on someone else since World War II. We're all in agreement that the apocalypse is too much for us to handle. Is it reassuring, or is it only a matter of time? We could go the whole doomer bloomer. I hate those words, but they are fitting. Doomer. True. It's always the chance of someone fucking up. An atom bomb being detonated on accident. That's almost happened quite a few times in history. If one goes off in the wrong place, they all go off. Them's the rules, just watch Dr. Strangelove. We're doomed, lovely. We're doomed, or we'll be fine? Or can we sit on the fence? I like this option, but I'm not going to pick it because it's... We're doomed. Yep, it's not looking good. But hey, it's not like there was anything you could have done to stop it. The leaders of the world in their infinite wisdom decided this was what humanity needed. Copious amounts of atom bombs just sitting around waiting to be sent into the sky. We're too far down this dirt track to turn around now, so keep on keeping on. Right on, brother. Something about the overwhelming hopelessness of this reality makes you feel warm and fuzzy. You turn your attention back to the digital sign. I fucking love that line. I don't know. If it's all hopeless, and it makes you feel warm and fuzzy, what a weird thing to say. I'm not going to elaborate on that sentence. 1 week. Let's be real for a moment. You're better off not knowing what this sign means. As soon as you learn the truth, all the mystery and intrigue dissolves, and the magic is gone. Don't kill the magic. I need to know. Fuck the magic. Okay, but you only get to ask one person. Ernest. Go ask Ernest. Why Ernest? Because he could use the company? Look at us, we're nice. Okay, deal. Carry on then. You carry on. 1 week. Cataclysm. Dare I say it? We'll conclude it right there. Wow, we did a lot, but we also did very little in this episode. The story progressed basically to, we made a phone call and now we need to wait. But that's just the type of game this is. It's very much meandering and go at your own pace sort of thing. And go at our own pace, we will. So, stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Make sure to salute your flag if you see it. Definitely don't piss on it. You hear? Alright. Goodbye.